What is well-being? And how can we measure it? How do you feel? How about now? And again, now. Annoying, isn't it? But let's say an app on your phone allows you to record your mood by simply pressing an emoji. And let's say you do it at points throughout a day, or throughout a week, or a year, or a lifetime. We'd be able to see the balance of positive, pleasurable emotions and negative, anxious emotions that you've experienced. But would this tell us your well-being? Well, no, not necessarily. What are we missing? Let's try another thought experiment. You're in a coffee shop having one of those heart-to-heart chats with a close friend. They peer knowingly over their cup of coffee and earnestly ask, "But are you really happy?" They are not asking us whether we're happy with our caramel latte or enjoying the ambient jazz playing in the background. In fact, how we answer that question may have surprisingly little to do with how much pleasure or anxiety we've been experiencing lately. Our answer will probably have more to do with how we evaluate our life, how satisfied we are. Experiencing some negative emotions as we overcome challenges can be part of this. We all want to be the heroes of our own lives. And if that means slaying some metaphorical dragons along the way, then all the better. Conversely, a life of pure moment-to-moment pleasure won't necessarily help us feel satisfied with our lives. It all depends on how we frame our lives within a narrative. In other words, whether we like the story we tell ourselves about ourselves. Already we're squishing together two distinct ideas under the label of well-being: the emotions we experience moment to moment and how we evaluate our lives. But it can be argued that we are still missing something. Imagine if a person is only experiencing lots of pleasure because they are addicted to a drug or spending all their time in some futuristic virtual reality machine. Or imagine that a person is only satisfied with their life because they had very low expectations to begin with, or are ignorant about all that life can offer. Can we really say that these people have high levels of well-being? The ancient Greeks thought not. They used the concept of eudaimonia, or flourishing, and this is our third and final component of well-being. They asked themselves, is it better to be Socrates or a happy pig? By asking this question, they were implying that a blissful life of contentment might still somehow be incomplete. The pig is happy, but its life is so much smaller than that of Socrates. It will never be struck by the beauty of nature, admire a work of art, or read a book. It will never tell a joke, develop a deep friendship, or feel that it is part of something bigger than itself. Of course, this is unfair on the pig. It can't do these things, but perhaps that's the point. If flourishing as a human being is as much about finding meaning and realizing our potential, perhaps this needs to be a part of well-being too. The dilemma many people face about whether or not to have children exemplifies this. Parents typically describe having children as a very meaningful experience, regardless of whether it brings pleasure or satisfaction to their lives. In truth, there's still plenty of debate around this topic, but surveys which measure well-being usually have questions which cover each of the three elements. The difficulty of combining these measures and whether or not measures of well-being can really be an alternative to monetary measures such as GDP or income is a discussion for another day.